Well, the final field markets are open, so it's time to find some early plays on Tabs getting the jump. And last week we disagreed on Holbein there at Flemington.
We both got it right.
Well, I guess so. You had it as the play. I said it wouldn't run a mile, ran third.
Yeah, and it was
paid, so you probably win more than me.
Yeah, well, I did. So that's the main thing. But no, we got that one and got a few favourites beat, Gerard. But good to be back. Let's get into it.
In the middle of winter, we got a couple of good races in Sydney and Melbourne, Group N listed races. Let's start in Sydney though with the Winter Stakes and this listed race over 1,400. Firstly, question without notice, who won it last year?
A decent horse which ran second in the Doncaster. The reason I know this is because I backed him at 80 to 1 to win the Doncaster, and he ran second in it behind Brutal. Dreamforce.
Of course.
Yep.
I thought I might have got you there, but you've done your research. Yep. Okay, the market Eckstein at 5. Then we've got First Hand 550, Gorwar 750. Organza's 13 into 750, also accepted for Melbourne though, but early money for it here in Sydney. Seaway 750, Nicky's Gold 850, 13 along with the rest. How's that for a compressed market at the top there? Very wide open Winter Stakes.
A really open race, Gerard, and we backed New Tipperary, or we made it our overs play first up, and it just snuck into third as we mentioned last week. We'll go again because I'm surprised it didn't open up single figures. I'm just surprised it didn't open up single figures. $15 was available. Previous second up runs have been very, very good, including last preparation you had in the Festival Stakes behind Goodfella and My Nordic Hero. Before that one, the Cameron went second up. Scone Cup second up, fourth behind Sedans at Headquarters at Flemington behind Pure Pride. And then a second behind It's Somewhat in the Ajax going back a couple of years ago now. So there's enough form to suggest that he can run well second, and off his first up run, I don't know if they're keeping him to shorter trips, maybe 13, 14, 1,500 metres this preparation, but $15 again, let's go.
Yeah, this is about his level, isn't it? They've tried, like you mentioned there, they've tried really stepping him up to, I guess, the top company, but I reckon this is about his level and can do some damage here. So I like it. $15 there for New Tipperary. Let's go to Melbourne. This is John Monash there at Caulfield, Group 3, weight for age, 1,100 metres. Who won it last year?
A decent horse as well, Voodoo Lad. Yeah. Went on to win the Winterbottom, of course, but this race previously has been won by some pretty decent horses, Gerard. So looking forward to this year's edition. Jungle Edge goes around, of course, in the heavy track.
$8. Let me give you a market. So Soothing $3.90. Soothing's won 3 or 4 fresh. Resumes here. Bandipur at $5.50. No longer with Godolphin. Heart Conquered at 8, along with Jungle Edge, as you mentioned. Crack the Code. Malibu Style $8.50. Then it's out to 16 and longer.
Malibu Style on the quick backup was very good last night. Controversially, very good last week at Flemington, with the gates coming a little bit open early for him.
Common sense decision. Well done, Stewards.
I agree. Kin's Dream would make the overs play here, Gerard. $16. New stable, formerly with Darren Weir, now with Kieran Maher. Don't know what it beat in that trial at St Albans, but it was a very heavy track and got through it quite nicely. So I'm very interested to see what kind of tactics they take here from a soft draw. I think John McNeil probably just off the leading few with the likes of Jungle Edge. I think Malibu Style will be up there. You've got Miss Norway, and there are a couple of others that will be up there. First up, $15. Look, the only one at around about that double figure quote that we can have a bet with.
Okay, looks to be plenty of value in the race, particularly looking away from Soothing, though I mentioned has that great fresh record. Let's go overs unders now, and race 1 at Rosehill Gardens on Saturday. Very interesting again, another very interesting late season 2-year-old race, and we've got this debutant Spend. For Team Hawks, well, I had the system opened, and it was the first horse they backed as soon as the market opened, 6 into 280. But rather than potting it as an unders play, you're playing around it.
Well, it was obviously
you're taking the positive. Too.
Exactly right, Gerard. $1.55 million colt. Look, they've been holding him back, and if he's a 2-year-old by Schnitzel that hasn't been to the races, rising 3-year-old, they've obviously got Golden Roses, Caulfield Guineas potentially in the mind, but it's just a big watch. Race experience is really underrated. I don't want to pot him, but at the same time, I don't want to back him. So I've made Lucicello our overs play, Gerard, at $8. I thought it was impressive on the Kensington coming from near last. And actually what we didn't realise when watching that race is put a bit of a gap in them. So I think there's probably a bit of improvement to come. If we do race on a soft track, which we might, depending on how well the track dries at Rosehill, I reckon it's a really nice run on each way type of play. Put in all of your multiples, could even win.
I absolutely agree with you. When I first saw you this afternoon, the first 2 things I said were Lucicello and the other horse I'm going to talk about a bit later. But it amazes me. It's one of the biggest things I notice is him being, a spokesperson for Tab, is watching the amount of unraced 2-year-olds that are just backed off the map, off the back of amazing trials that then don't produce on race day. But Spend could leave egg on my face there.
Also, the price tag, when you see it, you think this horse should be winning. We see it so often with China Horse Club, James Harron, Coolmore type horses. So this could be another one, but again, not willing to pot him. We'll just go around him.
Race 2, we're going to a benchmark 74 for 3-year-olds. The Wallaberry combo, inside draw.
Sellers here,
Sellers.
Gerard. Yeah, I really like this horse for Chris Waller and Tommy Berry, getting out to 1,500 metres for the first time this preparation. Last prep got out to a mile, might have been a bit too soon. I think they'll see out this trip nicely. If you go back to last start, the only reason it's $16 is because it looks disappointing last of 7, but it was actually doing its best work late. It was caught 3 wide last on that Kensington track. That Kensington form can sometimes be a little bit skewy. Just thought at $16 it's worth a bet out of a Galileo mare. So I think even getting a little bit further as we go, soft, cosy inside draw, hopefully doesn't find too much bother, but we're willing to find out at the $16.
I like it. Race 4 over the 2,000 next.
Gerard will make Primitivo our unders play 240.
Been racing well this prep.
Has been racing really well, but we'll pot it just at the price. I think it might be one of those gallopers that we get about $3, maybe even more for on race day. There are a few likely types here, the likes of High Power. You've got Semper Fidelis, even Hogmanay down in grade could be able to run a race with the apprentice on board.
Okay, then we go into race 5 at Rosehill. This is a benchmark 78 over the 1,100.
On the quick backup, Datey, a daughter of Exceed and Excel, well bred out of Divine Madonna, we know. On the quick backup, just from the heavy track, coming back to a firmer surface, I think it's a big tick here. And all that form obviously tied in well. Invictus Salute's the one that went around it over the odds last week and ended up winning from a slowly run race on speed. Datey was doing her best work late. All of that form behind Invictus Salute, Spiritual Pursuit, should hold up really well here. Third up, ready to go on a firmer track, the big tick, Gerard, for Datey.
Toting around time, and that big 6 pool again projected to get to the $100,000 mark for New South Wales tab customers for the meeting at Rosehill Gardens. And just looking at the feature there, the winner stakes, you've got that's I guess your fattest leg with 5 in there: Stampede, X9, New Tipperary, Galway, and Seaway. I'm glad he put Seaway in second up. He'll improve.
I didn't put in first hand. Sorry to Phil Page if he's watching, and best of luck to all the connections involved there. But yeah, it's a really tough race to try to figure out. Stampede's a really interesting angle, but I'm sure you'll touch on that a little bit later.
Yes, because it's early arrival time. This is the overs play of the week at this stage. Marc, you're playing here with the last at Rosehill. And what happened to this horse first up?
First up, Gerard, in the Stewards report, over race with the blinkers on after missing the start. Denawi, tab number 5 here. Missed the start, dug up, and was never really a hope after that. Rider reported, Sam Weatherly, it was on that occasion, that it pulled up with a cough, but there were no abnormalities in the vet report. Blinkers come off. He's $17, Gerard. SP Profile is a really wonderful thing in racing because it gives us our best possible guide of where a horse has been and how it was rated. It was $5.50 first up. It's had a trial since and it comes back as $17. If you're willing to forgive, the $17 looks an outstanding bet.
Didn't consider Drachenfels in that race.
No, not
apologies, Mr. Björn Baker, but
me.
it has been an absolute tease, this preparation already, Drachenfels. I'm playing in the main race, the winner stakes. Stampede, I'm annoyed because when we were prepping for the show, there it was at $23. It's now into 15 in the time we've virtually walked down the stairs to the studio.
I had it and New Tipperary written down. 23 next to Stampede. I said, you can have it. And it's coming to 15.
You. And I was with you on Lucicello as well. But Stampede won with 61.5 first up, over the mile, on a heavy track, on Everest Day. Has had 2 trials heading into this.
Three trials.
Three trials. Right. Bowman booked. Gay Waterhouse, Adrian Bott. You know it's going to be rock hard fit.
It's really good. I agree with you.
I'm just devastated that $23 is gone.
It'll be in my staking as well, regardless. I think it's a really live hope.
Okay, good luck. Let's do it next week again, Marc.
Looking forward to it, Gerard.
No, thanks very much. Thanks for joining us again on Tabs Getting the Jump. Don't forget to check out the words tips. There they are for just about every day under the sun, the Grafton Carnival, whatever you'd like. And we'll see you next week on Getting the Jump.